Hello, good evening. Ayan, good evening po, mga kapuso. Ayan, rinig po ba? Naki-confirm po if naririnig po natin. Could someone comment in the Facebook Live if okay naman po yung audio natin? Dinig naman po. Hello? Double check ko lang ah. Sige, so let's start our discussion this evening. Anyway, may magandang gabi sa lahat ng nanonood ngayon ng live stream natin. So I hope na you're excited for the coming exam. So 11 days na lang po, no? And parating na yung totoong laban. Anyway, discuss po natin yung situation 1 sa ating module 6. So installed a venturi meter on a pipe 25 centimeters in diameter in which the maximum flow is 125 liters per second and the pressure head is 6 meters of water. Calculate the minimum diameter of throat to ensure that a negative head will be formed in it. Ayan, so if hindi ka pa familiar sa ating venturi meter, ayan, so yung throat po is etong mas maliit na diameter. Okay po. Ayan, so given sa problem natin, ang diameter ng pipe which is 25 cm. So that would be D1 is equal to 0 point. That would be 25, no? Meters. Ayan, which is ito. Yan. And the maximum flow, so that would be, of course, Q 0.125. This is cubic meters per second. And you're given also the pressure head. Yung pressure head po is sa 0.1. That is 6 meters. So calculate the minimum diameter of throat to ensure that a negative head will be formed in heat. So yung throat is yun yung 0.2. We want a value of P2 over gamma that is negative yung value natin. Okay? So, yung analysis dito is that what we want is to compute kung ano yung magiging diameter dito sa 0.2, no? Beyond the critical value of diameter, and we'll get that value of diameter, no, when our pressure dito sa 0.2 is at exactly 0. Okay, bakit 0, sir? Kasi beyond the value of P2, bali yung 0, ito yung critical value natin bago siya maging negative, di ba? So, kapag yung diameter is diameter dito sa 0.2 is mas lumagpas, no? Or mas naging mas maliit ng konti compared sa makakompute nating D2 when the pressure is 0, then we'll get a negative answer, no, beyond that. So bale yung 0 siya yung critical value ng ating pressure head bago or beyond which magkaroon tayo ng negative na pressure head. So for this one, ang governing principle is that the energy at point 1 is equal to the energy at point 2. Dito, tsaka dito is equal. So that would be E1 equals E2. Okay? And expand lang natin yung ating energy equation. That would be this one, no? Velocity head plus pressure head plus the elevation of point 1 equals, you have the velocity head at point 2 plus pressure head plus Z2. Now take note na walang binanggit na energy loss or walang value na binigay. Okay? So hindi natin siya i-assume na meron dito sa ating equation. So ganun po palagi kapag nagtitake tayo ng exam, pag wala pong binanggit na value ng energy loss, so hindi po tayo maglalagay dito sa ating equation. Nakuha po. Okay. And then recall lang natin, paano kumuha ng velocity. So we know the relationship Q equals AV, di ba po? So yan yung ating fundamental equation for discharge. So to solve for V, we divide A, from the right side so that A gets cancelled. So we have now an equation for velocity. And that would be Q over A. Okay po. Ayan. So with that, using that equation, V equals Q over A, solve natin yung velocity 1 tsaka velocity 2. So for velocity 1, ganito yung magiging equation natin. Q over area ng pipe 1 natin, which is pi over 4 d1 squared over 2g. Plus pressure head. And then here, kung papansin nyo, horizontal yung ating Venturi meter. Which means that point 1 at saka point 2, they lie in the same elevation. So, ibig sabihin, if we are going to assume that the center axis of the Venturi meter is our datum line, then it means that our value for Z1 and Z2 is just 0. So, bale, ito, 0 because they lie in the same plane. No? So, 0 po yan, equals, so yung velocity natin, ganun pa rin, Q over A. This time, ang ating gagamitin is yung value ng diameter 2. Over 2G plus pressure 2 over gamma plus 0. Okay? So, ganyan lang. And then, again, as I mentioned earlier, para ang pinapahanap kasi sa question na to, ano yung diameter ng point 2 or that is D2 so that we have a negative answer. And with that, para ma-compute natin yung critical value ng D2, mag-a-assume tayo, magko-consider tayo ng threshold beyond which magkakaroon tayo ng negative. And that is a pressure head at point 2 that is equal to 0. So, bale, itong pressure at point 2, papalitan lang natin yan ng 0. Okay po. So, that will get the value of D2. So, substitute lang natin. So, yung 125, divide natin by 1,000. Kaya yan naging 0.125, convert to liters. And then, yung diameter na 0.25, that is 25 cm divided by 100. So, meron na tayong velocity at 0.1 squared over 2g. So, sa baba naman, that is 2 times 9.81. Kuha po. Okay, so that is for the velocity head at point 1. Plus, pressure head at point 1, remember that bigyan tayo ng pressure head. At point 1, and that is 6 meters. So, itong pressure head at point 1, substitute lang natin ng 6 equals, okay, so your Q, this is 0.125 as we have computed. And then we're looking for D2. So remain lang yan as unknown over twice the gravity, and that is 9.81. Okay po. And then plus yung ating pressure head at 0.2. So pressure head at 0.2 again, we'll consider that as 0. No, yan yung magiging assumption natin para ma-solve natin yung critical value of the diameter. So now we have an equation in terms of D2. So masasolve na natin ang value ng minimum value of our diameter at 0.2. And that would be 0.12 meters. Convert lang natin yan into centimeters. So times 100, we'll get this answer. 12 centimeters. Answer for number 84, letter B. Any question on this one? Okay, so I guess wala nang question. Let's now proceed to number 85. So, yung tanong, determine the velocity of the flow at the throat in meters per second. So, bali yung velocity at 0.2 yung tinatanong. Okay? Now, for this one, yung equation natin na gagamitin is just yung equation natin for velocity, no? With respect to the given Q and yung value ng D2 na na-compute natin, no? From part A. So, Q again is 125 liters per second. That is 0.125 over pi over 4 times yung value ng ating diameter at 0.2, and that was yung 4 decimal place is 0.1195. So we'll get the value of velocity at 0.2, and that is 11.14. Letter C. Wala naman pong tanong so far. Next one po. Situation 2 na tayo. Ayan, wala na po bang tanong for this problem? Situation 2. A closed cylindrical tank, 1 meter in diameter and 2 meters tall, is filled with water and rotated about its vertical axis at 1,200 RPM. Compute the increase in pressure in kilopascal at the rim of the tank. So we have here a closed tank that is filled with water. Binanggit po dito na punong-puno yung ating tank. So even if it's filled out, sinabi sa problem that the tank is still rotated about its vertical axis at 1,200 RPM. Take note natin yung diameter ng tank natin, that is 1 meter. And meron siyang length or height na 2 meters. Okay? Na kapag pinaikot yan, kapag puno po, no, yung free body diagram ng ating paraboloid is an imaginary paraboloid na sa taas ng ating tank. Okay? Ganyan po ang ating paraboloid or yung ating mangyayari sa ating tubig. No? Again, that's imaginary kasi po closed yung ating tank. Ayan. So first, para malaman natin, yung binabanggit po pala na rim of the tank, yung rim po is, yun po yung baba ng ating tank bali dito. Ganyan. And sa illustration natin, since two-dimensional lang yan, yung palibot sa rim is represented by the pressure dito sa gilid ng ating imaginary paraboloid. So, initially, nung hindi pa pinaikot, yung pressure is with respect lang at this height. Tama? So, ibig sabihin, yung increase ng pressure sa rim is caused by the height of the paraboloid. Diba? Kasi tubig din to ng part na to eh. This part right here, that's water. Sa imaginary paraboloid natin. So, since hindi naman binanggit yung total pressure sa rim, ang tinanong, increase in pressure. And the increase in pressure is caused by the paraboloid. Okay? Therefore, ang kukunin lang natin is yung value ng y dito po sa inangat ng ating paraboloid. Step 1, calculate for the height of the paraboloid y. And that is omega squared r squared over twice the value of our gravity. Once na-compute mo na yung y, no? So, next step is computein mo na yung pressure. And that is just product. Diba? Alam naman natin yung formula ng pressure. Gamma height lang po yan. That is gamma ng liquid, this case water, times yung height ng ating paraboloid. So, pag kinompute mo yan, yun yung pressure dito sa gilid, dito. Okay? And that is that represents the additional pressure sa rim ng ating tank. Nakuha po ba? So, yan yung framework ng solution natin. Now, since meron na tayong value ng omega, that is 1,200, we have the value of the diameter, that's 1.0. Kunin na natin yung kalahati, that would be a radius. And the value of gravity, that is constant, 9.81. So, makukumpute na natin yung y. That would be the value of omega, 1,200, times the conversion factor, don't forget, RPM to rad per second, kailangan po nating i-multiply sa pi over 30. Times, don't forget to raise that omega to the power of 2, times the radius, so kalahati po ng 1.0, kaya po 0.5 yan. Okay? And then 2 times yung constant value ng gravity or our gravitational acceleration, and that is 9.81. So you now have the value of y, and that would be 201.284. Now, if we're going to compare that with the height of the tank na 2 meters, so sobrang layo. no, ng ating or sobrang taas ng ating height ng imaginary paraboloid natin. 201.284. Now, we don't stop there. We just finished step 1. Now, next, multiply that with the value of the unit weight of water so that you'll be able to compute the pressure dito sa paraboloid, no? Which contributes to the increase in pressure at the rim. So, substitute lang natin, unit weight of water, that's 9.81, times yung value ng height ng paraboloid so that we can now finally compute for the pressure at the rim. So, if you use your calculator, you'll get the value of P, and that is 1,974.595 kilopascal. Letter B. Next po, number 88. Compute the increase in pressure at the center bottom of the tank. So, kung titingnan nyo po, yung paraboloid natin, dito po sa gitna is wala pong ano dyan, no? Wala po tayong height ng tubig dyan. Ibig sabihin, wala pong naging increase ng pressure dito sa gitna. Ibig sabihin, 0 po yung sagot. Okay? So again, yung analysis dyan, kaya wala tayong height dyan, no? Kasi, whatever is the height of the paraboloid, it always touches sa mismong top surface ng ating tank. No? And that only happens if we have a field, no? Yung punong-punong tangke. So, ibig sabihin, yung vertex ng parabola natin, palaging nasa tuktok ng ating tank. Okay? Kapag nagdo-drawing tayo ng imaginary paraboloid, if our tank is closed po. Nakuha. So, ibig sabihin, pressure at the center is equal to 0. Next problem, problem 89. Compute the total force acting on the top cover of the tank in kilonewtons. Ayan. So, sa pag-analyze dito, remember that yung tubig na nasa taas is ito. Di ba po? Ayan. So, yung pressure ng imaginary paraboloid natin na ini-exert towards the top surface or the top cover of the tank, yung ating dyan, pressure, meron tayong pressure force. Okay, tawagin natin yung P1. No? So, ang tanong is, or tawag natin F1. So, question, how are we going to compute for the force applied by the pressure at of this imaginary paraboloid dito sa taas? Okay? Now, since we're solving for force, no? Actually, equivalent yan sa weight ng tubig. No? So, the force that is applied by the water there is just simply the weight of the water at the top of our tank. No? Bali, weight ng ating imaginary paraboloid. And we have a formula from curved fluid statics, diba? That the weight of a of water weight of water on a curved surface is equal to unit weight of the liquid, in this case water, times the volume. Tama? And yan yung gagawin natin dito, no? Ganyan yung analysis natin. Kunin lang natin yung weight ng tubig sa taas ng ating tank cover. And yun na yun. Yun na yung total force acting there. Now, the challenge here is how do we compute for the volume ng water dito? Now, if you remember, yung volume po ng paraboloid, in this case, hangin lang siya, no? Wala siyang laman, is kalahati ng area or kalahati ng volume ng ating cylinder, di ba? Kaya yung formula niya, 1/2 pi r squared y. Because actually, ang volume ng paraboloid is kalahati ng tank given yung ating y. No? Bale, yung y na yan, yun yung magiging height ng imaginary tank natin. Yung volume ng paraboloid, kalahati po yan ng volume ng cylinder na mapapasukan itong ating parabola or paraboloid. So, ibig sabihin, if the volume of the paraboloid is kalahati ng volume ng cylinder, so yung volume ng tubig is also equivalent sa ibang kalahati, no? Ganito din yung magiging kakalabasan ng pag-compute natin ng volume ng tubig na to. That is 1 minus kalahati lang din ng volume nitong paraboloid, and that is just equal to 1/2 pi r squared y. Diba? This one, this represents the other half of the volume in the cylinder. Diba? Kasi ito, formula lang to ng kalahati ng volume ng ng tank natin na imaginary na nakapatong dito. Balikan yan. Na may tank tayo dyan. So I hope you're getting the point. Okay? Again, concept there is yung volume ng tubig sa taas ng tank natin, yan yung nag-exert ng force, which is equivalent po sa weight, no? Weight force ng imaginary tubig natin dito sa taas. And the volume and the formula for finding that force is just gamma volume. And to find the volume, kunin lang natin yung volume ng paraboloid. Yan na rin yung volume ng tubig dito. Equal lang sila. Kuha po. So, unit weight of water, walang problema. We know that value as 9.81 kasi kilonewtons yung question. Radius, so kalahati lang po ng 1. Yung y is yung na-compute natin na 200 plus value kanina. So, substitute lang po natin. Then, we can now solve for F directly. That is 775.4 kilonewtons. Letter D. Next, solve natin yung situation 3. So, I think this is a repeated problem. Lumabas din to nung module 1, no? So, I hope na nakuha din ninyo yung solution dito. Now, itong problem na to, isa to sa according sa statistics, no, nahirapan yung mga students during sa module 1. So, paano ulit ito sinolve? No, so, basahin muna natin. Situation 3, a pump with a shaft input of 7.5 kilowatts and an efficiency of 70% is connected in a water line carrying 0.123 cubic meters per second. The pump has a 150 mm diameter suction line and a 120 mm diameter discharge line. The suction line enters the pump 1 meter below the discharge line. For a suction pressure of 70 kilonewtons per square meter, we're asked to solve the following. Calculate the energy added per unit weight of water. Ayan. So for this one, we're given the shaft input of 7.5 kilowatts. So, pag sinabi mong shaft input, we're referring there for the power input. Power input is 7.5 kilowatts. And then you're also given the efficiency of 70%. Efficiency equals to 70%. And is connected in a water line carrying 0.123. So if this is our pump, ayan, meron pala akong mga values ng ano dito given. So our input 7,500 watts. So bale 7.5, no, convert lang natin 'yan sa watts, no, so times 1,000. Kaya naging 7,500 watts. Efficiency of the pump that's given 70%. Yung Q din natin given 0.123 which is mentioned here. Just ko lang to para hindi redundant. The pump has a 150 mm diameter suction line. So ito po yung pump natin and kung papansin nyo meron tayong dalawang hole. So for the suction, dito po yan nangyayari. Suction. So yung horizontal yung suction natin and yung ating discharge is vertical. Discharge. Okay? See. So, yan yung pipe natin for suction. So, subscript S, yung gamit natin to denote suction. Ang given na diameter for suction, for the suction line, is 150 mm diameter. And that is 0.15. Kuha po. So, dinivide lang yan sa 1,000. And a 120 mm diameter discharge line. So, yung discharge po natin is again yung paakyat. Discharge is denoted as subscript D here for the diameter. And that is a value of 0.12. Binanggit dito, the suction line enters the pump 1 meter below the discharge line. So, paano natin yan i-interpret? The line of suction is 1 meter below the discharge line. Okay? So, gawin na natin reference yung ating suction and then count tayo ng 1 meter paakyat. Ganun. So, bali, yung point sa discharge na tinutukoy natin is ganyan lang. Okay? So, this will be 0.1. And then dito naman, 0.2. Okay? Ganyan lang. Isasin ko lang to kasi may drawing naman ako. Ayan. So, the question now is, may given pala na suction pressure. The suction pressure is 70 kilonewtons. So, bali, lagay ko lang dito, PS. So, yung kilonewton per square meter, tandaan, that is kilo Pascal po. Okay? So, calculate the energy added per unit weight of the water. Energy, yung tinatanong po. Okay? So, energy, ang ibang synonym niyan is head. Diba? Now, since this is a pump, diba? Kapag pump, remember, pump is head added. Kapag naman turbine, that is head extracted. So we're actually looking for head added. Now, question, how do we find for the head added given itong mga nasa problem natin? Okay? Now, there are two ways. Pwede ka, first, pwede mong isip is yung formula ng power mismo, di ba? Power is equal to unit weight of the water that is being pumped times yung ating Q times the energy added, di ba po? Now, remember na for the formula of power, kapag pump po ang involved, yung power po dyan is output, P out. No? Now, in this problem, wala pong binigay na power output. What is given is just input. So, unknown si power output, unknown si head added. So, you have two unknowns in one equation. Hindi po natin yan masasolve using that equation. So, anong other alternative natin? The other alternative is we can use the energy equation. Tama? So, energy at point 1, wala namang binanggit na may energy loss. Definitely, merong head added kasi gumamit tayo ng pump. Equals energy at point 2. Okay, so ito yung pressure sa suction. Ayan. Now, for this one, double check natin, no? Kapag gagamitan natin ng energy equation, yes, meron tayong Q, meron tayong pressure sa suction, pero wala din tayong pressure wala naman tayong pressure sa discharge, no? And we cannot assume na zero yung pressure sa discharge kasi isa-isa natin velocity head at point 1, walang problema kasi meron tayong point 1 natin, ito pala. Walang problema kasi meron tayong Q na 0.123. Area, meron kasi may diameter tayo. Pressure head at the suction, walang problema kasi meron tayong pressure. Z1, so we can always assume that as 0 kasi mas mababa. And then plus yung HA pala. Equals velocity at point 2. Walang problema sa velocity 2 kasi may Q naman tsaka may diameter sa discharge. Point 2 pala natin po is itong point na to. Plus, ang problema talaga, wala tayong pressure 2. We don't have this value. So, if dalawa din yung ano natin. Now, since binigyan tayo ng power input, no, pwede natin gamitin yung formula ng efficiency para ma-compute natin si P out. And then, once we get the value of P out, masasolve natin si head added. Meron man tayong gamma at saka Q. So, yan na yung magiging ano natin, scenario. Okay? So, solve na natin si power output. Ito yung hinahanap natin. So, meron naman tayong efficiency, that's 70. And then, P output, that's the unknown. Power input, yan yung naka-watts. Ito, 7,500 watts. Times 100. So, we'll get the value of the power output, and that is in terms of watts. 5,250 watts. Okay? Next, since meron tayong formula for power output, substitute natin yung 5,250 equals unit weight of water. That is, tandaan po, kapag naka-watts yung ating power output, kailangan ito naman naka-Newton, di ba? Per m cube. Okay, kasi yung watts natin, di ba, ano yan? In terms of Newton din siya. So, kailangan naka-Newton pareho sila. Para consistent yung units natin. Times yung discharge natin, which is 0.123, times yung head added, which is what we're looking for. And that would be 4.35. Letter A. Ayan. So, pag problem solving, talaga ano yan, no? In reality, tala na error kung di ubra yung isang formula, ano ka sa next. And then, hindi pa rin, analyze mo ulit. Hanggang you'll be able to find out what's the right formula. So, for this one, no choice tayo, kailangan natin gamitin yung power output. Kasi kulang tayo ng value ng pressure dito sa point 2. Okay? Pag-digest muna yung ating Sir, na-skip yung number 86. Right. Yung sa problem 86. Okay, so for this one, I think, pan-checking dito na wala yung slide for part C, problem 86. We'll just have it, no? At the end, mamaya. Or if beyond na sa oras, isasama ko siya sa recording, no, na i-upload so that you can review. Okay? So for some reason, nawala siya dito sa ano. Baka accidentally na-delete ko kanina while I was finalizing. Okay, so that's it for problem 90. Let's have problem 91. For this problem, we're asked to calculate the pressure at the discharge flange. So ito yung isang unknown kanina, di ba? Kaya hindi natin nagamit. So again, ito yung point 2 natin. What is daw the pressure there at point 2? Now, since nahanap na natin yung head added kanina, ibig sabihin nun, na pwede na natin gamitin yung equation. Diba ito? Yung HA, ito may value na siya. So, ibig sabihin, isa na lang yung unknown, yung P2 na lang. So, we can use the energy equation for solving problem 91. Nakuha po ba? Are you following? Solve natin using yung energy equation. That would be energy at point 1 plus head added equals energy at point 2. Again, point 1 is our first point dito sa suction. Point 2 is our 0.1 meter above our point 1. Again, hindi natin nilagyan ng minus head loss kasi po walang binanggit dito sa ating equation. So, pag hindi po binanggit, huwag po nating ilagyan yung ating solution. Expand lang po natin yung ating energy equation. Ayan, mayroon pa lang kung ginamit dyan na values. Tanggalin ko lang yun, yung sinulat ko. Expand lang po natin. Ganyan. And then, isa-isahin natin yung mga variables dyan. So, first is for velocity. Yung velocity, kailangan naka-square. And if you recall, diba, velocity is equal to Q over area. Ganyan lang. So, yung Q natin, ito, 0.123. Lagay lang natin dito. And then, divide natin sa area. Area, given yung diameter natin na 0.15. So, circle po yan, kaya pi over 4 times 0.15 squared. Okay? So, that's for velocity over twice the value of gravitational acceleration. And that is 9.81. Plus, pressure at the suction or yung point 1 natin, meron tayong value 70 kilopascal. So, plus 70. Take note, kapag naka-kilopascal yung ating pressure, kailangan yung ating unit weight for pressure is naka-kilo din. No? So, take note ha, unit consistency. 70 over 9.81. Nakuha? So, ito kailangan naka-kilopascal. Ito kailangan naka-kilonewton. So that mag-cancel yung kilonewton and then yung matira is meters na lang. Okay? Unit consistency, mga kapuso. Plus, okay, so take note, for Z1, ito, yung 0.1 po, mas, ano siya, mas mababang elevation. So, yan yung i-assume natin na datum. Okay? So, 0 yan. Plus, head added. So, yung head added, yun yung na-compute natin kanina. That was 4.35. Okay, equals. Okay, punta na tayo sa right side ng equation natin. That is for the energy at point 2. So, first is yung velocity at point 2. So, again, Q over A po yung gagawin natin for V2. And remember, ang Q is meron tayong tinatawag na continuity principle. So, kung ano yung discharge natin sa point 1, Q1, yun din yung magiging discharge natin sa point 2. Okay, so kahit po pumasok yung ating tubig sa loob ng pump, hindi po magbabago yung ating discharge. Kahit anong disturbance yung gawin natin sa ating tubig, no? Yung volume ng tubig, ganun lang, no? Ginawa lang ng pump natin, dinagdagan niya lang ng energy. Ibig sabihin, mas pinabilis niya yung ating uh, flow ng tubig. So, but still, the discharge or yung amount ng tubig natin or yung rate ng tubig natin at point 1 at point 2 is just the same. No? Alright, so ibig sabihin, for computing velocity 2, we'll get the same value of Q, and that is 0.123. Ayan. Over area of the circle. Kasi circular yung pipe natin at the discharge. And that is 0.12. So, area ng circle, 5/4, times yung diameter at the discharge. And that was 0.12. Okay, so that's it for velocity at point 2. Divided by 2 times the value of gravity, and that is 9.81. Okay po. Next, plus pressure at point 2 over the value of our unit weight. Yung pressure sa unit, ang pressure dito sa point 2, yan yung sinosolve natin. So, that would be unknown. Over the unit weight of water. So, water pa rin naman yung tubig dyan sa point 2. So, 9.81. Plus, elevation ng Z2. Remember, point 2 is 1 meter higher siya sa point 1. And point 1 is the designated datum. Hence, point 1 is the reference point for the elevation of point 2. Therefore, Z2 is equal to 1 meter. So, plus 1 po yan. Nakuha po. Ganyan lang. Then, make sure lang na consistent yung units. Opo. Para walang maging problema tayo sa accuracy. So, solve lang natin. P2 is equal to 67.95 kilopascal. And that would be letter A. Letter A po yan. Finally, problem 92. Calculate the rise in the hydraulic grade line across the pump. Ayan. So, ano ba yung hydraulic grade line? So, review lang natin. Ang hydraulic grade line po, that is the graph of the total potential energy. Ito po yun. So, for point 1, no? Sum lang ng pressure head at point 1 and yung elevation. For point 2 naman, ito naman yan. No, pressure head at point 2 plus Z2. Kung dadagdagan mo yan ng velocity head, yan po ay magiging energy grade line. Okay, ganyan lang. Okay, so plot natin, no, para mas ano siya, mas kapag visual ka sa yung solution dito, mas nagigets mo siya. So calculate the rise in the hydraulic grade line across the pump. So remember, ito yung kailangan natin. For Z, remember na point 1 is our datum. Tama? So, hindi natin kailangang maglagay ng height for Z1 kasi siya yung mismong reference point. Next is yung pressure head. So, remember sa suction, meron tayong pressure na given and that is 70. Divide mo yan sa 9.81, yan yung magiging value ng pressure head. So, 70 divided by 9.81, that will be equal to this value, 7.13558. Okay, so ang units niyan is meters. Nakuha? So, yan na yung pressure head natin. So, yung value na 7.13, yan na yung total potential energy. Dito po sa point 1. Yan na yung kanyang plot, no, ng potential energy. Next is yung potential energy sa point 2. This time around, point 2 has a value for Z2. No? And we know that to be 1 meter. Next naman po, pressure sa point 2. Pressure at point 2 na solve natin yan kanina. And that was 67.95. Tama? Divide natin sa unit weight na value, which is 9.81. We'll get a value of the pressure head at point 2. And that is 6.9266. Okay? So, yung plot, look at this. If you're going to connect, no, itong two heights here, that would be your hydraulic grade line. Now, the question is, what is the rise in the hydraulic grade line? Ano yung inangat? So, project mo lang dito, papuntang kaliwa, and then kunin mo yung height difference. Ayan. Tawagin nating x yan. So, yan na yung inangat ng ating energy or potential energy. Yan yung tinatanong dyan. So, since meron naman tayong height ng right side, which is yun yung mas mataas, di ba? So, add mo lang sila, no? Yung potential energy sa kanan at point 2. That is 1 plus 6.9266. Ito lahat yan. Okay? Inad lang natin si 6.9266 plus si 1. So that's why we have that value for potential energy at point 2. Minus potential energy at point 1, ito po yun. 7.13558. Solve natin, we'll get the value of rise. And that is 0.7912. No? And the answer there would be letter C. Okay? Sige, so let's continue for situation 4. A horizontal cylindrical pressure tank is 5 meters long and 0.8 meters in radius. So, the tank is filled with equal volume of seawater with a specific gravity of 1.025 and oil with a specific gravity of 0.76. The pressure gauge at the bottom of the tank reads 40 psi. Take note ko lang dito, ang reading daw is 40 psi. Now the question is, what is the pressure at the top of the tank in kilopascal? So, ano daw yung pressure dito sa taas? If we're to put here an imaginary gauge pressure, ano yung magiging value dito? Pressure at the top. Ayan. Okay, so ganito, no? To solve for the pressure at the top, remember po yung principle ng pressure. Pressure pressure is always measured vertically. Okay? So, for instance, here, dito tayo sa view na to. Let's say this is our point 1. This point. Okay? So, pressure dyan yung tinatanong natin, no? Pressure at the top. And then, notice there are two liquids. The tank is filled with equal volume of seawater and oil. So, pag sinabing equal volume, ibig sabihin, kalahati ng, at saka binanggit na filled, puno. No, pinakita ko na lang yung liquid na laman. Ayan. So, kapag bababa tayo dito, di ba, pag-measure ng pressure, no, is measured yan at the interface. No, kaya always find the interface. Or pressure is measured at hindi naman siya measured lang at the interface, no, but it is measured usually sa interface. Anyway, point 1 is the interface of ano naman, no, ng tank at saka ng ano natin, ano ba yung lulutang? Oil or seawater? So obviously, yung mas magaan, no, yung oil. And then we have also point 2, which is this one. Yan yung second interface. And then, ito naman si point 3. Diba? And luckily, we have the value of the pressure at point 3, 40 psi. We're looking at the pressure at point 1. So, kung gagawa ka dyan ng equation, di ba? Sulat mo na pressure at point 1. Sulat ko ha. P1 or the pressure at the top. You don't know the value, that's what we're looking for. And then, tingnan mo, bababa tayo dito. From point 1, bababa tayo ng paganyan. Papuntang point 2. So, kapag pressure po, pababa, positive po yan. Okay? Take note, upward, negative. Kapag downward, positive. Since downward tayo, positive yan. So, plus, ayan, pressure at point 2. Now, for this one, dadaan tayo sa height ng oil, di ba? And we know the formula for pressure, di ba? Pressure is equal to unit weight of a liquid times yung height niya. So, plus, yung total pressure naman sa point 2, pressure sa top, plus the unit weight of the oil times the height of the oil. Tama? Okay? And then from point 2, measure tayo ulit ng pressure pababa. So that will be plus. This time, unit weight of the water times height of the water. Okay? Equals. Okay, that would be yung sum ng tatlong yan, pressure at the bottom. Diba? And that would be 40 PSI. Or in other equation, bali ganito lang, no? Rearrange ko lang, pressure ng bottom equals pressure sa top, and that is pressure at point 1, plus, okay, yung unit weight of oil, tawagin natin gamma 1. And then, take note, the height of the oil here is equivalent actually to the radius, which is 0.8. Diba yun yung radius mo? Yung height na yan. O, kaya, times R, plus, tawagin natin itong liquid 2, yung water, so gamma 2, times radius ulit. Diba radius, yung height na yan, yung binaba natin? Radius din yan. Ayan. So, substitute natin, pressure at the bottom, naka-PSI po yan. Ang gusto natin na units for pressure at the top, naka-kilopascal. So, convert natin si PSI into kilopascal. Diba? Ang isang PSI, equivalent niyan sa 6.895 kilopascal. So, magka-cancel na ngayon si PSI. Equals pressure at the top, which is unknown. Unit weight ng oil natin, sorry, this is supposed to be 0.76, no? Kasi siya yung liquid one. Anyway, pwede naman tong mag-interchange kasi commutative property, no? So, yung naano ko lang dito is the height, unit weight of the water. So, 1.025, that's the specific gravity of the seawater, times 9.81 times yung radius natin. So, that would be the unit weight of water. Plus naman po ang unit weight naman ng ating oil. That is 0.76 times 9.81. Yan yung unit weight ng oil natin. Times yung radius ulit, which is 0.8, which is this one. Okay? So, I hope nakuha yun. And then, kung kompleto na, we're now ready to solve for the pressure at the top. And that would be 261.791. No? So, that would be letter A. Proceed po tayo. Problem 94. What is the total force acting on the circular end of the tank? Ayan. So, the total force po is uh, that can be computed. Kunin muna natin no, yung force acting sa oil and then force acting sa tubig or sa seawater. And then kunin natin yung resultant. No, F total. Add mo lang F1 at F2. So solve natin isa-isa no, yung force acting in each liquid. So unahin natin yung force acting dito sa ating tawag dito, oil. Ayan, so F1. Hanapin mo natin si F1. Now, force po is acting no, at the center of pressure. And for a semicircle, the center of pressure is at or above the center of the center of gravity is above the center of pressure. And for a remember, ang tanong is force acting at the end of the tank. So, ibig sabihin, yung area na concern tayo is itong area na to. Ito. Yung semicircle. Now, alam natin, force, hydrostatic force, diba, is we need to find first the pressure at the centroid. No? And for the pressure at the centroid, kailangan natin ang value ng H1. So, paano natin mahanap H1? H1 is equivalent to the value of bar H. So, that is from the surface to the centroid. So, we can compute for H1 if we subtract yung radius at saka yung centroidal distance ng ating semicircle. Ito yung formula ng centroidal distance, 4r over 3 pi measured from the base of the semicircle. Dito po. Akit ka ng ganyan, 4r over 3 pi. So therefore, H1 is just 0.8 minus D. No? So, again, from this equation, di ba, alam natin, pressure equals force over area. And yung governing equation natin, cross multiply lang to, we'll get the value of F1. Ito yung F1 natin. So, we need to find first the value of pressure. Area, walang problema. Diba? Area, ano lang yan, kalahati lang yan ng area ng circle. For pressure at 0.1, ito yung magiging diskarte natin. No? So, again, pressure is just vertical measurement. No? So, since sa taas, meron yung pressure, so consider natin yan, plus yung gamma times papunta dito sa center of gravity. No, kasi pressure sa center of gravity yung kailangan natin. So pressure sa center of gravity is just gamma times H1. No, which is this height. Kuha. Now, H1 is R, ito po yung R natin, minus yung ating centroidal distance, D. Diba? Again, ito yon minus this height. So, that would be our H1. So, substitute na natin. No? Ang unit weight, this is oil. So, take note na natin yung formula ng unit weight. Specific gravity times gamma water. And then, take note din natin yung formula for the centroidal distance, D. Ang centroidal distance formula is 4r over 3 pi. Kapag semicircle. Sundan po. Okay. So, yung pressure sa top, na-compute na natin yan. And that was 261.791. Specific gravity ng oil, ayan, 0.76. Gamma water. Times yung radius or yung ito, yung height ng ating semicircle. And that is 0.8 And then 4 times, ito na yung formula ng centroidal distance, radius is 0.8. Okay? Over 3 pi. So we'll get the value of the pressure at the centroid, that is 265.224. Multiply natin yan sa area. So that will get the value of F1. So since kalahati lang yan ng area ng circle, so 0.5 times area ng circle, pi times the radius, 0.8 squared. We'll get F1 as 266.632. Okay? So ganyan lang yung pag-compute ng force sa centroid, force at acting dito sa oil. So, okay na si F1. Next, solve natin yung force acting dito naman sa seawater. Again, that force is acting dito po sa center of pressure. No? Pero, for us to find for force 2, kailangan natin yung pressure dito naman at the centroid. Okay? So, solve natin yung pressure sa centroid. Again, yung pag-compute natin ng pressure is magsimula tayo dito sa pressure sa top. Ganyan. Plus, again, find the interface. Ito yung pangalawang interface natin. Ang point na to. So, unit weight times that radius. Compute natin yung pressure at point 2. And then, since pressure at the centroid yung gusto natin, hanggang dito lang, di ba? So, kailangan nating height is yung centroidal distance na. Which is this one up until here. Take note, ang centroidal distance po is measured always from the base. From the base po yan. Kaya, 4r/3 pi dyan. No? So, yung multiply mo sa unit weight ng seawater is yung D, yung 4r/3 pi. And then, yung unit weight at point 1, again, specific gravity of oil times gamma water yan. Unit weight naman sa point 2, specific gravity of seawater times gamma water. Substitute lang po natin yung mga na-compute nating values. Pressure at the top, that's 261.791. Specific gravity of oil, that's 0.76. Times unit weight of water, that's 9.81. Times the radius, which is 0.8. Plus specific gravity of seawater, that's 1.025. Times unit weight of water, that's 9.81. Times 4r/3 pi. R is 0.8. We'll get now the pressure at the centroid. That is 271.170. Pag may na-compute ka ng pressure sa centroid, multiply mo na sa area. No? And that is still kalahati ng area ng circle. Yan, ganyan lang. And then solve for F2, that would be 272.609 kilonewtons. To solve for the total force, add mo lang force 1 plus C force 2. And then you'll get the answer, 539.241. Nearest is letter B. Okay po. So I hope you don't mind. Next na tayo. As question for problem 95, what is the ratio of the total force acting on the lower half to the total force acting on the upper half? So, acting at the lower half, yan po ay ang F2. So, F2 yung numerator. And then, acting on the lower half, on the upper half, is yung F1 naman. So, F2 over F1. So, substitute mo lang yung values na na-compute natin, we'll get the value of ratio That is equal to 1.022. Letter B. Okay? Ito, konti lang to. Last na to, situation 5, and then I'll just do another recording for the rest of the problems na hindi ko ma-discuss ngayon. So, the fuel gauge for a gasoline tank in a car reads proportional to its bottom gauge. The tank is 50 centimeters deep, ito po yun, and accidentally contaminated with 8 cm of water, which is this one, of water. The specific gravity of gasoline is 0.72. What is the gauge reading when the tank is filled with gasoline? So, ito yung first scenario. We have here the tank, rectangular tank, and then punong-puno with a height of 50 centimeters. Okay, so alam naman natin yung formula ng pressure. Yan po ay unit weight of the liquid times the height. In this case, the gasoline is the liquid, no? So, unit weight is just, multiply mo lang, specific gravity, 0.72, times yung ating unit weight of water, and then 50 cm yung ating height. So, convert that to meters, that is 0.5. We'll get the value of P, and that is 3.532 kilopascal. Letter B. So, ganyan lang, no? And take note, merong vent yung ating tank. So, wala tayong pressure. Yung air natin hindi pressurized. 7. If the tank is accidentally contaminated of 8 centimeters of water, how many centimeters of air remains on top of the tank when the gauge reads full? Ayan. So, ganito yung scenario natin. Zoom ko lang to. Oops, sorry. So, we have here the height of the water, that's 8 centimeters. Wala pa rin gamitan ng ano. So, 8 centimeters yan. And then, yung height ng gasoline, syempre hindi natin alam, no? And then, yung tinatanong is yung X. Yung height ng ating air. Okay? So, to solve for the height of the air, no? Ang gagamitin natin is yung principle lang ng pressure. So, yung pressure dito sa kanan is just equal sa pressure dito sa kaliwa. No? So, yung resolve natin na pressure for number 1, gagamitin natin yon to find for the height of the air here. But for this one, since yung pressure ng air is irrelevant kasi nga merong vent, so we'll just use the value of the pressure of gasoline for the liquids only. And that is, sum up natin yung pressure ng water at saka pressure ng gasolina. No? Ito yan. And that is, yung pressure na nasolve natin, 3.532. Unit weight ng water, 9.81. Yung height ng water, 80 cm, that's 0.08 cm. That's 0.08 meters. Unit weight ng gasoline natin, 0.72 times 9.81 times yung height ng gasoline, which is we don't know. So, solve natin yan. That would be 0.3889 meters. So, once na-compute mo na yung height ng gasoline, pwede na natin ma-compute yung height ng air using this formula. That is height of the tank, or the height of the tank minus height ng gasoline tsaka height ng water. Okay? So, the height of the tank is ito yun, no? From here up until here. That is equal to 0.5. So, ito yung hinahanap natin na X. So, to find for x, i-minus lang natin si 0.5 sa height naman ng gasoline na na-compute natin, 0.3889, minus ulit sa height ng water na na-contaminate, 0.08. So, we'll get the height of air as 0.0311 meters. Convert yan to cm, we'll get 3.11 centimeters. Letter A. Okay, and one more item bago tayo mag-end ng live, and then I'll just include in the recording, no, na i-upload natin sa website yung na-skip natin na number. So I apologize for that, no. Pero sige lang, upload ko lang para merong kompleto pa rin yung reference natin. And then also yung remaining items na hindi na natin makakover. Next, if the tank has a uniform horizontal cross-sectional area of 0.8 square meters, how many liters of gasoline are required to fill the tank? So, binigyan tayo ng cross-section. Bale, ito. Ito, cross-sectional area. Ang tanong is, how much is the volume? So, kailangan natin yung height, yung x times yung area to get the volume. Ganyan lang. So, area times height lang yan. Area is given as 0.8. Tapos yung nasolve natin na height ng air, 0.0311. We'll get the value of the volume, no? 0.02488 cubic meters times 1,000 will get the volume required. That would be 24.88 liters. Letter C. Okay? Alright, so yung problem 99 at saka yung 100, I'll just discuss it doon sa additional recording, no, na ipapalagay ko dito. Okay, in addition to this recording. Kasi overtime na, no? Sir, if di po madi-discuss ang item 99 and 100, pwede paki-flash na lang po sa screen para ma-screenshot. Okay. Ito yung sa problem 99. Okay, yung sa problem 100, I'll just show it on the recording, no, na ilalagay ko. Kasi I still have to to finalize the slide for problem 100. Okay, and we don't have time as well na. Sige, so again, for problem 86 and problem 100, I will have a additional recording for that to be uploaded on the website. I cannot provide yet the slide for problem 100 kasi hindi siya naka-encode, no? I am supposed to just answer it ng mano-mano, but we don't have time. Anyway, so I'll just upload the complete slides on the website as well, no? For you have para may kompleto pa rin yung reference natin. Okay? So yes, I hope you understand. Sige, so any other concerns? Yes, so let's just end there at that. No, and again, for reference for problem 99, 186, I will upload or we will upload, no, yung remaining part together with this one. So isi-stitch lang, no, together with this recording. All right, so see you next week and God bless.